So, I just did something pretty crazy. I bought a plane. Oh my gosh. Would you look at that? Okay, so who on earth is this random idiot cyclist who just bought a plane? And what does it have to do with cycling? Well, actually, quite a bit. But the answer to that comes after an even more important question, and one I actually have not even tested yet. Can I fit this bike into that plane? Because if I can't, half my plan is in shambles before we've even started. So let me explain. So this is my new plane. 1963 Mooney M20C. I'm going to be completing my training in this aircraft towards my commercial pilot's license and beyond. And hopefully, if you guys like the intersection of aviation and cycling, maybe I can make a lot of content with this thing, and that can be my long-term goal. So why did I buy a plane? Well, number one, this is so cool. So why aviation, and why buy a whole plane to do this? Well, let me walk you through this. A couple of years ago, before our daughter was born, my wife and I went through a miscarriage, and it was one of the hardest things we've been through. And the way I cope, for better or for worse, is throwing myself into something. And in this case, it was distraction. So a few days after we got the news, on a whim, I booked an intro flight, and I just fell completely in love with it. Now, problem was I couldn't afford flying. Just the private pilot license alone was like $18,000 before you actually factor in what you do with it afterwards. So we pressed pause, but it never really left my head. Then last year in Romania, there was an airport 5 minutes away from where we were staying. So I started flying again, and I literally ride my bike to my lessons, fly, and ride home. It was one of the best times of my life. And that's when I knew this was not just some hobby, this was here to stay. So this year I committed for real, working towards my licenses with the plan of finishing my commercial. And the big dream way down the line is the airline transport pilot license. But here's the thing that pushed me to buy. Flying at a flight school was costing me nearly $500 per hour once you add up everything. So for the full path I want, the math just didn't make any sense. So I did some more math, and it was, of course, actually cheaper to buy my own plane, train with a freelance instructor, and come to the other side of my licenses with a plane that I can sell to recoup most of that investment. I know it's not the traditional route, but I didn't really want traditional. I wanted the freedom to fly on my own schedule, to take my family on adventures, and to be able to fly with my bike and go to random places and record content with it. But the first thing that's most important is, can this bike actually fit in the plane? There are some videos I am so excited to record. Some videos I'm just like, the ideas I'm so stoked for. We're going to be volunteering in this thing. We're going to be flying out. We're going to be cycling in new places. Something I love about both cycling and flying is the adventure. And I'm about to get both of those things in just one package that's so cool, and I'm taking you along for the ride. Full transparency, this is a co-ownership. And my co-owner, a heck of a guy. He started this not-for-profit called Pilots for Paws here. And I'm going to be working with him, and you'll see in some videos in the future, to save some dogs from up north using this plane. We're going to be bringing dogs from up north down here to Toronto so that they can get the veterinary help that they need and also can get adopted. And he's going to be teaching me a lot about this plane before, God willing, in the future, maybe I buy the whole thing off of him. I'll be honest, she has seen better days. The paint is definitely not at its best. There's some bolts that are rusty. There's even some spider webs. I'm gonna give this baby a detailing, and I am going to treat this like my second baby. Like my third baby. My second baby is my bike. My third baby. But the question I have been wondering since before I bought this plane is, will my bike fit in the plane so that I can fly it around? Let's find out. Okay then, moment of truth. And this is the part I've genuinely been nervous about. If this bike doesn't fit, then the entire dream I just told you about is really dead on arrival. So, let's find out. Okay, well, so far no go. I got both wheels off, and it's still just hanging out there like this. There's not gonna scratch or anything because everything's padded, but I think I have to take off the seat post, and then from there I think we can wiggle her in. Okay, so we got it to fit.
the Colnago's back there. It fits, which is great news. It took forever, but I actually have to bring it in through the main door. It was not fitting through the baggage door. So if I fit it through the main door, it works. Now we know how to get it in. Fantastic.
So here is the plan now that we know it fits. This whole ridiculous idea of mine is actually possible. Soon, I'm going to fly this plane to a city I've never ridden in. I'm going to maybe go on a couple climbs, ride my bike, maybe even go for some KOMs and fly home. All in one day, all for one video.
Welcome to season 2, I guess. Season 3, I don't know. What next season of this YouTube channel. And I hope you enjoy.